Everyone. This is Dr. Kamani, licensed clinical psychologist. Welcome to our last day of Black Women We Deserve Joy Challenge. So, we have had conversations this week talking about why it's so important for Black women to center ourselves and to really reconnect to our joy. We talked about, as Black women, how we are often so busy doing things that we often lose sight of ourselves, and we often feel like tired and exhausted, to the point that many times we can't remember the last time we did anything that was enjoyable, or we can't even remember what brings us joy. So, again, if you're tuning in now, my name is Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. Welcome to my channel, Lifting as We Climb Consulting Wellness Services. I've had conversations for a few months now talking about supporting Black women healing from toxic work environments. And to escalate, to elevate the conversation, I've started talking about joy because it's important for us to keep in mind that certain situations or people may try to rob us of our joy, such as toxic jobs. However, as Black women, it's important for us to take our power back. As Beyonce talked about, "You won't break my soul." That we're not going to allow these jobs to break our soul, and that we are reconnecting to our joy. So today, the last day of the challenge, I'm going to give like an overview of what we've covered each of the days, and then I'll tell you about what's coming next. So as I mentioned before, I came on each of the 5 days and I've given you just a nugget of joy, right? Just a nugget of joy tips to support you reconnecting to your joy. And so I'm going to offer an additional tip, but first I'm going to go over the other tips. So on our kickoff on Monday, we had a conversation with Afroflow Yoga. We had Leslie and Gina here talking about Black women and some of the barriers that we experience in terms of reconnecting to our joy, in terms of so much pain and challenges that we have in our lives. But it's important that we also understand that joy is our birthright. As Gina mentioned, it is our birthright. And so feeling joy is actually a sign of liberation, because we know that even though all these things are coming at us, that we're showing that we are rising up and that we are not being broken, and we will not be silenced when things are done wrong to us, right? So happiness and joy, we talked about the difference between those. So happiness is more of like an external experience of something happened that made you happy. Joy is more of an internal experience in terms of something happened or you're doing something, and it gives you just a sense of just a connection to your soul, your spirit. You just feel light. So that's what joy is. And so we talked about that the first day. We also did breathing exercises and talked about the importance of breath, because breath grounds us. And sometimes when we're in stressful situations, we're either holding our breath or we're breathing in a way that's not healthy for ourselves, right? So sometimes it's important for us as Black women to find a moment. I know we're busy, but to find 5 minutes out of our day, 1 minute out of our day, can we just sit and be still so we can just listen to hear what God is saying to us, okay? Or whatever religion you follow or who you follow. But in terms of listening to that higher power, what is the higher power saying to you? Okay. So that was the first day. The second day, we also talked, the first day and the second day, about the joyometer. So a joyometer is a way to track yourself in terms of connecting more to your feelings. So how do you feel in terms of experiences of joy on a daily basis? So the ask or the challenge was that for each day of the challenge, that you would track your joy level on a scale from 1 to 10. So 1 is low and 10 is I'm ecstatic. I'm really excited. Okay. So the hope is that you will continue tracking your joy so that you are in better connection to how you're feeling, and that you recognize, wow, I'm kind of low for the past few days. I need to do something joyful for myself. And we understand that doing things joyful for ourselves, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, because sometimes we convince ourselves that we don't have time to do joyful things, but that's not true. It may not be like the full ramped up version of joy, but we can have little bite-sized moments of joy too. So it could just be going outside, taking a walk, smelling a flower. So it could be small things that are free. Okay. We also talked about joy robbers. So joy robbers are situations or people that threaten to rob you of your joy. So that might be a toxic workplace. It might be friends who kind of dump on you all the time, but it's not like a balanced relationship. So there's different types of joy robbers. And I know that a comment before was sometimes they could even be in your family. Okay. So it's important that we say, okay, I assess who the joy robbers or what the joy robbers are in my life. And how is it that you can maybe minimize contact with these people or these situations? Or as you go into these situations or around these people, that you prepare yourself. So maybe have an exit strategy of like, okay, I'm going to be here for an hour, that's it. And then I'm going to make my way out. But really think about ways to protect yourselves in these situations with joy robbers. We also talked about coming up with a list or identifying for yourself what are the things that bring you joy. As I mentioned before, a lot of times we are so busy, we're taking care of so many different things that we have to do that we lose sight of what we want to do and what feeds our soul. And so when we think about that, I asked you to come up with a list of the joyful things that you like to do. And sometimes if we feel stuck, it might be helpful to think about what are the things I like to do as a little girl, right? What gave me joy as a little girl? And are there opportunities in any way to reconnect to those types of activities? And then we also talked about now that you've come up with that list, and what ways are you going to commit to actually doing that, right? So actually engaging in the joyful activities. So as I mentioned before, there are opportunities for us to engage in joyful activities every day. We don't have to wait until the weekend or Christmas time or things like that. We can do small moments of joy. And that's the ask is that we do that because we know with all the stress that we're encountering, we need stress relief, right? Because there's so much stress and so much that we're dealing with that it can take a toll on us physically and psychologically. So today we're going to talk about the last day of the challenge. We're going to talk a little bit about really reinforcing yourself for doing or engaging in joyful activities because sometimes we forget how joyful we were when we engaged in that activity. So the ask is that you engage in a joyful activity, and right after you engage in that joyful activity, that you actually film yourself on your phone in terms of what did it feel like to do this activity? Because sometimes when we feel like, oh, I don't have the time or it wasn't all that, pull out your phone and look at it and look at the video and look at the joy in your face and how that felt and having that lightness in your body. So again, the ask for the last day of the challenge is that you engage in a joyful activity and that you pull out your phone right after you're engaging in it, or maybe as you're doing the joyful activity, so that you actually have a memory that you can look back to in terms of what was it that gave you joy and that you remind yourself of that joyful feeling. Okay. So for the last 5 days, we have come together, and I've talked about different nuggets of joy. And so I want to let you know that there's an opportunity to elevate in terms of really taking this to a higher level in terms of your connection to joy. So I'm providing an opportunity to reconnect to our joy in a higher level and also for us to share this joyful experience and reconnecting to our joy with more Black women because, we want to help our sisters, we want to uplift our sisters also. And so I will be letting you know on Monday about this opportunity of how to elevate your joy to a higher level. Okay. Because I'm just giving you bite sized tips. So this is a more like an entree in terms of joy. So I'll let you know about that on Monday. To receive information about that, you can go to the challenge link, which will be in the description section, and put in your email so that I know how to contact you. And also, I'll have another link in the description section. So let's say this is your first day. Yes, reconnecting to joy is essential. It actually is. It's so important. And sometimes, again, we downplay it because there's so many things we have to do, but it is absolutely essential. And so I'm also going to put in the description section information about the next round of the Joy Challenge. So again, the Joy Challenge is completely free and it's just a way to reconnect to our joy. And so I'm going to put the link in for the wait list for the next round of the Joy Challenge, which will be in the fall. Okay. So my hope is that if you did not participate in the full 5 days, or if you want to participate again, or if you want to tell other Black women, please connect to that link. You could just sign up on the link. And then once I start in terms of the date, I will email you. Okay. So again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in, for engaging in the joy practices. And my hope is that throughout the summer that you will continue joyful practices. I'm going to be taking a joyful break in terms of live videos. So I'm going to be taking a break. And so I'll pick up again in the fall. And then we'll talk about joy and we'll talk about other issues that we go through as Black women, not only to talk about in terms of raise awareness, and so we don't feel alone in the different experiences that we have, but also the emphasis is on healing because we have to know and believe and feel that healing is possible because it absolutely is. So again, I'm going to be taking a joyful break and engaging in joy-filled activities. And so I'm going to be posting periodically about me engaging in joyful activities. And my hope is that you will also post about engaging in joyful activities because it makes us feel good when we're able to see ourselves in joy. And then it also helps us in terms of we're showing other Black women what it's like to engage in joyful activities. So if you would like to join me in this joyful break, you can post your pictures with the hashtag I deserve joy daily. Again, hashtag I deserve joy daily. So again, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. The intention of the challenge was not to keep anyone long, right? Because I want to model for you how easy it is to have pockets, right? We can have moments. And so these were just brief moments for you to reconnect to your joy. On Monday, I'll be launching more in terms of having more information about how to elevate that connection to your joy to a higher level. So keep an eye out for that. If you put your email in the click the link in the description section so I can contact you. So for everyone, I wish you well. Hope you have a great weekend. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, Lifting As We Climb Consulting Wellness Services, which is on YouTube and on LinkedIn, Money North and Sands, and then Instagram, again, Lifting As We Climb Consulting. So everyone have a good rest of your day. And I will see you guys again live after my joy-filled break. And again, remember hashtag I deserve joy daily. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I see. Thank you, Audrey. I participated in an entire 5-day challenge and learned some great self-care skills. That's awesome. Well, I hope that you continue to engage. Um, and um, and then I look forward to seeing you next time around. So again, even if you participated the first round, you can participate the second round. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the fall. Take care. Bye bye.